New research conducted by RMIT University has found nearly 60% of workers in the Victorian music industry have considered leaving. The sector has been one of the hardest hit during the pandemic, with live gigs and tours affected by capacity restrictions and border closures. For more, I'm joined by Jess Beston, who's an artist manager. Jess Beston, thanks so much for your time. I mean, those numbers are really quite staggering. 58% of those in the industry are considering leaving. Does that figure come as a surprise to you?
Hi, Karina. Thanks for having us on. It really means a lot to our industry that you are giving us this voice. It doesn't surprise me at all. You're looking at an industry for 12 months now that hasn't been able to do their jobs. So since shows started getting cancelled last March, you have an entire industry full of people who have not been able to earn a living.
So are these people then people who work in the industry full-time, or is it casuals who maybe have a full-time job but maybe play gigs on the weekend or are involved in some way in putting gigs on?
You have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who work full-time in the live music industry. You've got bands, you've got managers, you've got booking agents, you've then got promoters. There's all the production houses and lighting houses that supply all of the stuff for all of those shows. And then you've got crew. You've got front of house sound people, you've got lighting people, you've got monitors people, you've got guitar techs, and all of these people work in this industry full-time and have lost their ability to earn money in the last 12 months.
And what's happened to your clients' gigs during this particular lockdown? We know that this past weekend was supposed to be one of the busiest of the year.
Last Thursday and Friday, a band that I manage, Holy Holy, had gigs in Melbourne on Thursday and Friday. Due to the reduced capacities, we had to have 2 shows a day. So we had 2 on Thursday and 2 on Friday. On Friday morning, we woke up to the news that there was very possibly going to be a lockdown. Quite a few of my boys and crew have children at home. I had to get those guys out. And not only that, but our shows would have finished after midnight that night, rendering them impossible because that's when the lockdown began. So we went to Melbourne, many of us from interstate, to play 4 shows. We got to play 2 of them. So we essentially lost approximately $80,000, and all of the costs that were meant to be spread across those 4 shows were suddenly spread across 2. So we essentially haven't made really any profit from those shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's just extraordinarily heartbreaking to hear stories like that. Do you think these kind of tours can be rescheduled?
Yes, we're currently in the process of doing that, and it's really important for everybody to understand that's what we've been doing for 12 months now. It's been a full-time job for managers like me, booking agents and promoters to constantly be optimistically booking shows to help us and our bands make money, and every single month getting the news that we can't do it anymore and rescheduling those shows, hoping that they might happen. It's essentially a full-time job, booking the shows, marketing the shows, doing the logistics for the shows, finding out you can't do them, and then having to reschedule everything again. And none of us get paid for any of that work.
Confidence is one of those sentiments that I guess is measured, but is also at the same time hard to measure. How much has confidence in the industry been affected as a result of everything that's taken place over the last year?
Well, the issue with the confidence in the industry, I mean, we must be the closest, most, strong industry you could ever get, because we've always felt a little bit left of centre and a little bit unheard. But we're constantly working to get things back on track. The issue is, with the constant border closures, and obviously COVID is a nightmare of a situation, the border closures and the lockdowns means that we can't do these live shows, often at the very last minute. So I suppose confidence in our industry, it has dropped, and that's why people are thinking of leaving the industry. And we're going to end up, if we're not careful, with a whole generation of artists and arts workers who are qualified and passionate and so good at their jobs, unable to stay in the industry because once JobKeeper runs out, we can't pay our rent, can't buy food, and all these people as well, they have staff who they've been paying out of JobKeeper, but also from their savings just to keep things going. And for Holy Holy, for example, we had these shows coming up and we thought, okay, so long as we can do these shows in February and March, that's when JobKeeper ends. We'll make enough money to get through to the middle of the year. And now with those shows looking very unlikely to happen, or maybe they'll happen in 5 months, maybe they'll happen in 8 months. There's so many bands, so many managers, so many booking agents in the same situation as me, staring down the barrel of just having no money coming in after March.
Yeah, it has been such a thriving industry in Victoria over such a long period of time. Do you think the sector can recover, or is it going to require more government support following the end of JobKeeper next month?
100%. The industry and every beautiful person that works in this passionate, talented, extraordinary industry that gives so much to everybody, not just in Victoria, the whole of Australia, absolutely is going to need some help. If we're not able to do these shows and we're not able to plan and rely on being able to do live shows, then it's just, there's no question about it.
Jess Beston, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you, Karina. I really do appreciate this. We all really appreciate it.